Hey, ¿qué pasa, Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. Before we begin today, like always, I want to thank my sponsors, my anchor sponsors, my homies from Los Pichos, Jake, Sergio, and Jonathan. Also, if thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David Gastelum, 760-235-9576. Contact David Gastelum if you're thinking of buying or selling a home or even an investment property. He'll help you along the way, and he's got like over 20 years of experience, so make sure you hit him up. Today we're here with, how do you pronounce your last name?
Hisel.
Hisel, yeah. I was like, how do you pronounce his last name? But yeah, today we're here with Jayson Hisel. He's the commissioner of VWE.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for taking some time off and being here today.
Thank you guys for inviting us.
Usually I start off my podcast with having my guests tell us a little bit about themselves.
My name is Jayson. I've been in promotions for about 13, 14 years. I started off doing a magazine. Then I ended up becoming a club promoter. I've done that. For most of my promoting years, I've done all kinds of different events. I brought a lot of artists to the Valley in Mexicali, Baby Bash, Chingo Bling. I brought Pumpkin for Flavor of Love when that show was hot. In the last few years, I brought E40. To Yuma, I brought Paul Wall, Mike Jones, Kirkle Bangs. But in the last 3 years, I brought Snoop Dogg to Brawley. So that's kind of my history of where we are. At the same time of Snoop Dogg, I actually started VWE, and that's what led us to being here today.
Okay, but are you from the Valley?
Born and raised in Imperial, so try to do as much as I can for the families here in the Valley. There's not a lot of entertainment, and if there is, it's you go to the movies, $10-15. You're there for like an hour. Here at VWE, we charge you about the same, but you get a 3.5 hour show. Start to finish, you're gonna be screaming if you could talk at the end of the night. You really didn't have a good time, I guess.
Yeah. And then, that's something that I want to talk about was that, normally we're looking for something to do here in the Valley where, it's not something outside where it's super hot or just, entertainment, especially for the whole family, because
we try to do indoor shows, but it's not always accessible to us. And sometimes an outdoor show gives you a whole different feel than an indoor show. The ring sounds different. The crowd gets different. But here, since it's hot, we do try to get indoors, but we really strive to give it a family experience. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm big on. I have an 11-year-old, and he is actually involved in this. So he has his little store that he sells toys, and he makes more money than me most of the time. And then our students and our staff that work with us, we encourage them. Their wives come, their kids come, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws. We try to build a good, wholesome environment for everybody. We don't allow the wrestlers to cuss. We don't allow them to get out of hand. We try to make it, like I said, a whole family, wholesome environment that you could take your kids to, because we don't sell tickets at VWE. We sell memories. So we want your kids to remember that they went here with you. Me personally, I remember going to the fairgrounds in the mid 80s, maybe late 80s, early 90s to see George Animal Steel, Honky Tonk Man with my grandfather. And that was my first experience with wrestling. And we watched it every week. Every Monday we watch Raw, watch WWF. But going there live, when you see a live show, whether it be WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, VWE, Lucha Pro, anybody in the indies, the magic of a live show is way different than you see on TV. When you hear the ring and you hear the thump of the ring and how loud it is, it turns every person into a kid again. Mm-hmm. You could be 90 and you're watching AAA every Sunday. You go to VWE, you might see Damien Say, you might see Psychosis. You might see Super Crazy like we brought last Friday. We deal with a lot of underground guys. We brought tons of talent. We brought the best of the best here to Imperial Valley for the fans. And it's not just us. You know, sometimes we bring guys and we don't even get to talk to them. It's about the show. So then they get paid, they leave, you know, and they're like, man, I didn't even shake his hand. But as long as the fans and the kids' faces makes everything worth it.
Yeah. What does VWE stand for?
Stands for Venue Wrestling Entertainment. And Venue was what I started with. That's my company that I did promotions for. It's Venue Entertainment. And the meaning of that is the word venue just means a place that an event is happening. So what better to call your company the venue? To make any place you go, that's the venue to be at.
Yeah.
That was how that name came about.
And you kind of read my I guess you kind of answered a couple of my questions because
we can go back and re-answer. It's okay. We'll get.
Because I was gonna ask you, what was your earliest memory of wrestling? Have you always been like into wrestling, or?
I've been into wrestling, but I was not a die-hard fan. I liked it. I really didn't know the lucha side until VWE. But you know, who doesn't like Ultimate Warrior? Who doesn't like Hogan?
Yeah.
Macho Man? You know, who doesn't yell woo when they walk into the room and they know they're Ric Flair, you know, all those people who didn't grow up on Glow, you know, at our age. You know, I'm in my 40s, so, you know, those are the memories that I remember. You know, Hacksaw Jim Duggan with his 2x4 walking out, and I remember the Attitude Era. I remember the wars between WCW and WWF, and I remember a little bit of Lucha Libre, but not too much because I wasn't really raised on it. But when we got into VWE, we are a Lucha Libre company. And I understand the difference, how the ring set up, the ropes, the difference in the ropes, the difference in the turnbuckles, the difference in the style of wrestling. And pro wrestling is a love. Lucha Libre is a lifestyle. And that's the lifestyle we live. You know, when somebody tells you, hey, you know, wrestling's fake, my reaction is come to the dojo, get in the ring. See how long you can last without throwing up.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I said, it's a lifestyle, it's a mindset. And that's what we teach our students, and that's what they're learning now. You know, it's not a part-time thing. You either have it inside you or you don't. And it's you're willing to try it out and do great things. I mean, it's just like any other sport, and to us it's a sport. You know, we have our icons, we have our idols, we have goals that we want to set, and it's a great workout learning how to do things. We have students, and I'll bring a student in a little bit later, and he'll tell you that there's things that he can do now that he didn't think he could do 6 months ago, 7 months ago. It's a great, you don't have to wrestle with us. You come to our school, you get the workout, you burn the calories, you lose the weight, you get more flexible. And if you want to wrestle in a match, when you're ready, we'll put you in. If not, you could just do it for the love of the sport. That's what a lot of people
do. If you could point out, like, what's one of the biggest difference between like American wrestling and...
In American wrestling, the ropes are a little bit looser. They don't do a lot of high flying. They kind of just bounce off the ropes and a lot of body slams. But in lucha, those guys, the ropes are tighter. You know, when they hit the ropes, they hit it hard. They use them for a springboard. They use them for, you know, to do flips. They use the ring as a tool. And in American wrestling, they do the same. It's just a whole different style. It's more of Greco-Roman wrestling, I guess. But we use that in lucha as well. Once you see people like Little Cholo, our champion, or Mariachi Loco, or even Andy Brown, you know, the way that they use the ring, and you're just like, wow, did they just do that? We brought WWE legend Paul London one time, and I've never seen I never seen a shooting star press, and when he did it, it was just like, it was over. You know, they went through the ring. The ring literally broke. You know, it was crazy. But then again, it's wrestling. You know, lucha life.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid, I remember watching the WWF, and you know, one of my favorites was the Ultimate Warrior.
Great right there.
And because I used to live in LA, and then when we came down here, I started watching Lucha Libre, and I was like, "Whoa, this is like crazy!" Like the way
yin and yang,
yeah, like they would fly off the ring, and then like the crowd was like right next to the ring, and they would fall into the people, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's more interactive and more.
The fans care more about the match. You know, it seems to me. That's just my opinion. Lucha Libre, they encourage the yelling, the screaming, the participation with the crowd. So that's you're right on. That's basically what it is.
And then I guess the other thing that I guess if you look into it is that like Lucha is a little bit more humble in the sense of, you know, you got these WWE superstars that are like bigger than life, and these guys, the luchadores, even though they're like, you see them in the ring and they're like bigger than life, like they seem a little bit more humble than you know, the stars over here in the United States. I don't know.
Well, it just depends on the person. I mean, speaking of that, we brought who I perceive to be the greatest luchador in the world, which was Rey Mysterio Jr. We brought him 2 years ago, and being who he is and the status that he is, the greatest luchador in the world, he was really humble. He shook hands. He looked you in the face. And to come here to Imperial Valley, that'll never happen again. You know, that was something that was a once-in-a-lifetime deal for everybody. I'll probably never meet Rey again in my life. You know, I saw him the next year at Expo Lucha in Las Vegas. You know, I said hi to him. But, you know, I'll never probably ever be able to do that again. You know, even though he's from San Diego. He is, like you said, he's larger than life. But he's humble. But then again, you meet, you know, Paul London, you know, 2-time Cruiserweight champion. That's the nicest guy you'll meet in the world. You know, he didn't know my mom's name when my mom was helping us when she was alive, and he just started calling her mom. You know, it's just different things. You know, we met a lot. Like we brought, like I said, we brought Damien Seis. We brought Psychosis, the original Psychosis, Nicho La Millonario. And we seen him in Vegas too, and they were like, "Hey, Jason, you know, how you doing?" And Damien, you know, he's hardcore legend. You know, he's like, "Hey, Jason, I'm gonna hit you with a chair later." Nope. See you later, Damien. He had a big old smile on his face. So these guys are super humble, and they love what they do, you know, and they're old school. So you do it the way you're supposed to do it. You learn the way you're supposed to learn. You act the way you're supposed to act. And they teach that, you know, they live it, they teach it, and that is lucha. That's really, the lucha culture is about respect. And in American wrestling, I really haven't had a lot of experience with it, but the guys that I met are really, really nice, good guys. We brought Johnny Mundo, which is Johnny Morrison in WWE, and he was a great person, you know, very nice, understanding, willing to work with you. It's how when they become famous, how they actually understand the fame. And it goes with anybody. You know, when I brought E40, he was a super nice guy. When I brought Snoop, super nice guy. I brought Mike Jones, and that guy was just like, "Give me my money, I'm gonna get out." You know. But then again, it's how we perceive them. Like I said, to me, Rey Mysterio is the greatest luchador in the world. You may not like him, but to me, he can't do no wrong. And that's part of wrestling, is you're either a technical or a rudo, a face or a heel, and the fans choose what side that is. At the end of VWE, you're gonna know what side you are. You may think like I like the good guys, and at the end of the day, you're gonna be like, I like that guy. He's a rudo. So I'm going for the bad guy in this one. Yeah. And that's the evolution of the show, you know, from start to finish.
And talking about the show, do you guys have a storyline here? Like because you normally, like when you watch on TV, there's like a storyline where, you know, they have, you know, these. What do you mean storyline? It's all real life drama.
We run every month, so we have different things going on. We have different rivalries. We have our champion, which is our lightning belt champion, Little Cholo. He's had the belt, so I want to say almost 2 years. And You can see him on Lucha Underground. He was on MTV Society X. This guy, he's defended the title successfully, and he never backs down from a challenge. You know, he's took the belt to other federations. We let him go and use the belt over there as a match. And these guys, they understand what it takes to be on the top. You know, you need to tell a story in the ring. You need to make sure how the show evolves and the crowd understands. And we try to book the best on the indie scene here in SoCal. There's a lot of other companies. There's other companies here in Imperial Valley. It's just the way we book is different. Our mindset is different than theirs. Nothing wrong with them. You know, I would like you guys to go to every other show here. There's some in Brawley. There's some coming up. You guys can make up your own mind who you like to see. But in the Valley, the shows are good for the scene. Even in Mexicali, you know, we deal with Nacionalista down there and another podcast down there. They were actually at our last show. You know, we want to support everybody just like you. You know, we'd like you to go and support and be there live, you know, live stream. But the scene itself, the storylines, it's not always what it seems. There's a lot of twists and turns. It's wrestling. It's bigger, better, over the top.
Yeah.
So you really gotta to follow our storylines, to follow where everything's going. You have to go to the shows. You know, you can watch it online, but it's not the same.
Yeah, yeah. And in terms of like manpower, you don't have to get into like numbers, like in terms of money, but like how hard is it to put on a show like for you being the commissioner?
It starts with getting the venue. We've been running at the same venue for about 3 years. Off and on, we change depending on the needs of the show. I book from the main event down. So we try to give you the VWE universe someone that they know, someone that has a star power, someone who can Google, they can look up, who has Twitter, and we build them match by match. So a normal show is five matches. The one on last Friday was 6 matches. So it's always, we try to go better than the last show. We try to do more than you expect. There's always twists and turns. There's never a VWE show is never what it seems. There is never here's our show. This is what's happening. It's more like, here's our show. This is what you're going to see. Twists, turns, giveaways, special guests, surprises. I mean, shoot. The Taco Showdown, we don't even put out a card. We just put the Taco Showdown. And this is the second year we did it in Brawley with the Chamber of Commerce, and like 5,000 people showed up. Wow. You know, when you're in the ring and you're a nobody like me, and you just look out and it's like in awe. You know, there's people, just floods of people, and it just gives you that, you know, like, yes, this is why we do it. Mm-hmm. So storylines and the way it works, I mean, there's ups and downs and in-betweens and twists and turns in wrestling. So you really got to follow any company. You got to follow to know who's who turned, what's what. And that's pretty much how it goes. It's like, you know, Days of Our Lives, you watch it for 6 months, you miss it 2 months, you lost 3 years. Yeah, you got to be consistent. Yep, it's consistent. So, like I said, lucha is a way of life. Yeah. So who are some of the names that are like from your from VWE? Mm-hmm. Right now we have a couple champions. We have the Tribe, who are based out in Arizona. Those are our tag team champions. We just crowned a female champion, Katana Vera, Friday, brand new champion. We have our lightning belt champion, which is Little Cholo from Lucha Underground. And we have our main champion, who goes by SoCal Crazy. He just, he was there Friday too. He wrestled Sefa Fatu, who is the son of Rikishi. His brothers are Jimmy and Jey Uso in WWE. His cousin is Roman Reigns. His other cousin is The Rock. So he's part of the Samoan dynasty. So he's royalty in our world. We brought him. We have other guys that we bring all the time that are just as talented. Mariachi Loco, Andy Brown. We got Super Beetle, who's a great character. Let's see who else. We got a guy out of Arizona. His name is R3. Man, he's undefeated in VWE. We have another guy by the name of Anthony Idol. He's an American wrestler. He's undefeated in VWE. We've brought Sin Bodhi, who was Kizarni in WWE. You name it, we brought him. Famous B from Lucha Underground. Luchasaurus from Lucha Underground. Thunder Rosa, she was in Lucha Underground. We brought a referee that got super kicked in WrestleMania by Shawn Michaels. You never know. We did a show at last year. Last year we brought Famous B, and nobody knew that in the audience was two other famous luchadors that just showed up to watch.
Oh, wow.
One of them, Shane Strickland, he just signed to WWE. And the other one's name is Xavier. And Desmond Xavier. And they were just sitting in the crowd watching. Nobody bothered them. Nobody knew who they were. You never know. You never know who's going to come. We've had wrestlers show up and lowriders hitting switches to the ring. Yeah, we have someone who shows up in a coffin.
Like the Undertaker.
Yeah, just similar to that. I mean, we strive, and I say we because it's not just me. It's me and my team. Like I said, Little Cholo has a big part in our company. He's been a big help to me, just advising me, giving me insight and opinions of what goes on. Because when you step into this world, it's a whole new language. I didn't know none of it. I was calling some of the guys by their real names, and they're like ignoring me, and I'm like, they're like, dude, I have my mask on. Like, oh, my bad. It takes a lot to be in this world, And these guys that we bring, each one of them have a very unique place in VWE. Whether they come once or they come a million times, we deal with dojos in Orange County. We deal with promotions in Chula Vista. We deal with Mask Republic. We're dealing with like Expo Lucha, which is August 17th and 18th. It's the biggest luchador expo outside of Mexico, and we have a match there. We're bringing Los Luchas, which is, they are legends in SoCal. They've been all over, and they're taking on the Lucha homies, Mariachi Loco and Little Cholo at Expo Lucha. So if you guys really want to go to something like that, you can hit us up on Facebook, and we'll point you in the right direction. It's put on by Mask Republic, and it gives you an experience you can't get anywhere else. Mm-hmm. But that's, like I said, that's what VWE puts the work in to strive towards. I mean, we understand that not everybody's into wrestling, not everybody's into lucha, but everybody should be open-minded and come check it out. You never know. Come in and heckle and leave your bills, your worries, your problems at the gate, and spend 2.5, 3, 4 hours with us. And then just relax and have a good time, and yell at the bad guys or the good guys, and tell them where to go, and get your stress out, and you'll have a great time. And if you have kids, shoot, we'll give them the time of their life, better than Disneyland. It's kind of what we do.
So today we're here at your dojo.
Correct.
Can you tell us a little bit about,
We've had a wrestling dojo school for a little over a year. It's been about a year. And we've had different trainers come in and out. But we were at Sparta Boxing, which is a great organization. They're here in the Valley. Fernie and George, they do a lot with kids, and they helped us get started. So I'd really like to thank them. And if you're into boxing, you're in El Centro, Sparta Boxing, they'll point you in the right direction. They'll help you if they can't. They'll tell you who can, but you want to check them out. I think they have a sparring session July 13th at Sparta. But we were there. It was outdoors. And I was just driving around like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning one day, I think on a Wednesday or Tuesday, here on Main Street going somewhere. And I looked over and I saw one of my friends. And he goes, "What are you doing up so early?" I said, "Man, I'm just trying to find a building with high ceilings that, I can rent for a good price, and try to, give my students somewhere to train indoors." And so he goes, "I got a building, And I said, "It's just private, it's just strictly for training, He goes, "I got a building, but it's full of stuff. Come check it out if you want." "Oh, okay, all right, thanks." And I left. Done nothing of it. Who's going to tell you when you're driving down the street, "Oh, I got a building, I'll help you out"? So all day it ate at me. And we went back. I went and found him where he was working. And I said, "Hey, what's up with that building?" He goes, "Oh, you're interested?" "Yeah, my guys need somewhere, I got an 18-foot ring. That's like 8 feet tall. I need somewhere to put it that they can work." He goes, "All right, call you tomorrow." Calls me tomorrow. "All right, next week we'll go look at it." "Ah, man, let's go look at it right now." He's like, No, I can't. I'm busy." "Okay, tomorrow." So we come in, and you can't walk in. It's like American Pickers, real life. He goes, "I've had it for many years. It's been a catch-all, different businesses." "Okay, cool." So we kind of weasel our way through, I'm fat, so I'm trying to suck my gut in and get in. And he goes, "What do you think?" He goes, "Is that bathrooms?" He goes, "Yeah." "I'll take it." "Really?" I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, has high ceilings. He goes, "You're going to move all this stuff for me." "Okay." He goes, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." "Okay." When I mean stuff, I mean shelves, boxes, beds, heavy metal. "Okay, when can I start?" "Whenever." "Tomorrow." "Tomorrow?" "Tomorrow." Okay, it's like, "Hey, this is what we got. We got to move it. Got 4 or 5 people here. Made a big old dent the first day. 3 weeks later, I said, "Look, we're done. We're going to move the ring up." "Oh, man, I haven't seen it like this in 5 years. So, yep. So I put the ring up. We started training, and so I went to Facebook and said, I'm doing this. We have kids that come here, and we cater to kids. Like, we want kids to come and learn lucha. That's what we want. We want to build our next generation. So I went on Facebook and I asked, "Hey, anybody have any extra equipment that they don't want? We'll fix it, whatever." Overwhelming response, "Come get this, come get that, come get this. Come." So we got a bunch of stuff. And then we ended up getting a couple new students. You want to lose weight. We have a female that wants to wrestle. And she's taking her time, She's trying to get in shape, get her cardio. Wrestling is all about cardio.
Yeah.
So cardio is very good for the heart. You lose weight, you sweat. So, that's where we're at today. We slowly built it. We're far from done. We were cleaning everything out and we found a bathroom that was on our side, not the other side. So I was like, "Oh, shoot, there's a bathroom here." And, "What do you mean there's a bathroom here?" And I was like, "I've never seen that bathroom." I said, "Well, we got a bathroom." So, we got a good entrance. We got access to the front, to the back. It's dirty. We wash it. We clean it. We sweep. We mop every day. It's a gym. But it's our gym. Mm-hmm. It's our dojo. It's our house. And every student is proud to say that. And they understand that this is where we live. This is where we come to learn. This is our church. The ring is sacred to us. And to come from doing shows and not having a ring to buying a ring, to training at Sparta when they helped us, to being here is a blessing in 3 years. And thank God, you know, he really blessed me with good people in my life. There's a lot of people that help us. There's a lot of people that help me. You know, I'd go insane if I do this all by myself. You know, but if you want to really know about the dojo and what we do, I'd like to bring in one of the students who can kind of answer your questions. That way it doesn't come from me, it comes from their point of view. And they get homework. They got homework the last match. They have to show up on time. They have to listen. I mean, it's real strict regiment. If they don't, then go run. So I'd like to introduce one of our students. His name is Andy. So I'll give you guys a break from me, and I'll let him come in and kind of give you guys a point of what we do. I'll be back.
Just trying to find a picture of the dojo.
Yeah, it was pretty packed.
Oh yeah, when you first. So you've been here since day one.
Day one.
Oh yeah.
And like Jason was saying, like when we looked at it, it was like, okay, where do we move the stuff? There wasn't there's so much stuff. How are we gonna do it? How are we gonna move it? It was like, okay, so where can we move it? What can we do with it? So, I mean, now the spot's there for us to wrestle. And
so, but have you been part of VWE since a while back, or do you just?
I just started for like maybe a year ago. So about a year. I started, but lifelong fan. I like to say I'm fourth generation fan from my grandmother to now my daughter is actually the fourth generation of wrestling fan. My grandma used to sit and root for the bad guys and pick her toenail off while we're yelling at the TV screen. And my dad used to take me to the wrestling shows in Mexicali. I mean, from the Valley. I would go to the Lucha Libre shows in Mexicali, and then myself and now my 18-month-old daughter who throws herself in the bed and she sells better than probably me. So,
so did you ever think like, oh, one day I'm gonna, be part of a?
And not really. It was always, like you say, a dream of mine of doing something in the business, but 5'6", 210 pounds at the time. You're either Rey Mysterio as your idol or you're either a ref or something. But luckily VWE gave me the opportunity to come in and actually they didn't even look at my size. It was just, you want to learn how to wrestle, we'll teach you how to wrestle. What you can do in the ring is a lot different what the other person can do in the ring. And I came in a year ago just helping out events here and there, calling Jason, bugging him a little bit. And then he's like, all right, we'll come in and help. Came in a little bit, like just a few days. And now it's like second home here at the dojo.
So what are some of the things that you do here that you think people outside couldn't handle? Like they're like, oh, wrestling is fake, but yeah, you do this in the gym that.
Before even getting in the ring is putting up the ring. That is a really not difficult thing to do, but it's something that once you understand how to do it, you understand more once you get into the ring. Like even putting the ring together, the ring we have is in 4 different sections. Just the feel of the ring, how you put the mat, how you, like Jason was saying, how you put the ropes, how you tighten the ropes. It was just one day Jason's like, here, put the ring together. And he's like, all right, let's do it. He's like, I'm going to show you once. And then the next time you're going to do it by yourself. And so now every time that we put it together, I'm kind of trying to be the supervisor. And he's like, no, like that's not how you put it. Or I'll even tell Jason, who put my ropes together? Why is my ring like that?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you have to take it as part of yourself. I mean, like just wrestling itself, you are, like to say, an exaggerated version of a characteristic that you are. So
yeah, it's like being over the top, right, all the time. And yeah, like now that you mentioned, like you have to take it personally. It's and I keep Jason say that it's a way of life. So it's kind of like this is like your part of you now, right?
Oh yeah.
So how often do you guys
for training? It's 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are in the afternoon, 6 to 8. Saturday is 9 to 11. On Thursdays and Saturdays is when we have our trainer come in, who actually teaches us a lot of the moves that you see in the ring happening. And it's a lot of lucha libre. He comes from Mexicali, so it's kind of a lot of lucha libre style. Because the methodology or the way it was explained to us, which I mean, being part of it for so long, is that once you know how to do lucha libre, everything else kind of falls into place. Purisu from Japan, American style wrestling, lucha libre. I mean, you can wrestle with anybody once you know how to do lucha. Like that's like the main core to do everything.
And what's some of your favorite things to do, like when you're here?
Rolling. I mean, if you don't know, like when we start the day off with rolling, but if you can't roll, you pretty much can't really do much in the ring. So that's like, and people are like, oh, rolling, I can roll. I've shown some people like, this is what we mean by rolling. You land on your feet, and there's really some techniques that you can't physically teach somebody. You see it, either you can do it or you can't. I mean, my background is I'm a teacher. I've been in the education system for 14 years. So a lot of the teaching that our coach does, I kind of take into, okay, so how would I do it in the classroom, or like to understand more of where he's coming from. But yeah, rolling, I mean, doing a lot of sequencing, a lot of the holds. From the coach that we have now from the one before to now, we even enter the ring differently. So we would enter through the ropes. And the first day our new coach came, was like, okay, guys, get into the ring. So we kind of, the way we were tied, grab the top rope, put your left foot in, face forward, wipe your feet before you go in, because that's a big thing, respecting the ring. So I helped out another company a while back and just kind of setting up the ring. But once we set it up, I kind of stood out. And even when they started helping out Jayson, and they're like, oh, why don't you go ahead and roll around in the ring? Like, because I haven't been invited. You haven't been inviting me to the ring. I'm not going to just jump in. It's a trampoline or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, having respect for the business, for our ring here. A lot of the students that myself included, kind of will walk, when we walk around the ring after we're kind of cooling off, and kind of starts touching the ring, just getting familiar with it. But yeah, I mean, doing the rolls is one thing I kind of enjoy. Going back to entering the ring, we went in the way we were taught. Our new coach comes in, we get on the apron, and we're about to kind of slide in. And he's like, oh, no, you're jumping over the top rope. I was like, what do you mean? So yeah, you're going to grab, do a squat, and jump over the top. So I'm like, all right. So, and that's, I think, the attitude you have to have when you wrestle. You can't fight back. You can't, because you have to remember, the person teaching you has been doing it for multiple years. So I mean, we've had one coach who was doing it for 20. This was doing it for over 10 years also. So their experience is what we have to kind of let go of ourselves, especially myself with my age. A lot of people were also who come in and are try to tend to fight with the age. And like, well, I see it on TV, and it's like, it's nothing like you see on TV. You're gonna see a different way once you're training, like the homework we were left. It wasn't about, did you like the match? Did you not like the match? It was more of, what did you see during the match that you've learned, or like you're now a student of a match. You see wrestling totally different. Yeah. Now I can't see New Japan anymore differently. Like the way I used to WWE, I've changed it, unfortunately, because it gets kind of stale, because I've learned the other side of the business. You say you're a teacher. Do you tell your students that you? Yeah, I mean, I told them, and they're like, oh, like they'll say the kind of like, if is it fake or, but I invite them when we're 8 to 80, like 8 years old to 80 years old, if you can come in and train. No, but yeah, I mean, I've told my students that they go ha ha ha, and then they're like, oh, but when are you gonna wrestle? When are you gonna wrestle? It's like whenever my coach tells me, and are you gonna wear a mask? And are you gonna? It's like, if I tell you I'm gonna wear a mask, then it's kind of the suspension of disbelief is gone, so I won't tell you. But it's just like we said before, it's a way of life. I've taken it to my teaching, to my students. Even losing weight, I've lost 30 pounds since my coach told me you have to lose weight. It's like, all right, so I'm gonna lose weight. It's a lot of cardio, a lot of just strength being in the ring.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I mean, it's the fun part's being in the ring. The hard part is doing the warm up outside the ring.
Do you guys, because it's cardio, you guys have to run a lot?
Running the ropes is one of the biggest things that you're not only just kind of running back and forth, you have to be able to know how to put your hands, how to turn. It's a lot of cardio. A few days, people have blown up. And I mean, that's an industry term to where they've gassed out, been really tired on running the ropes. Running the ropes, jumping over somebody, turning back, coming out, jumping over. And people see it, oh, you're just jumping over the guy. It's like, no, you're hitting the rope full speed ahead.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, it's like you have to it's like really coordinated work, right? Like,
oh yeah,
because otherwise you'll run into each other. Or
and then I did run into somebody and because they weren't paying attention and knocked them out of the ring.
Oh, really?
And it was just like when the coach tells you you're doing this, he's supposed to be doing this. If he forgets, you have all the right to knock him out. I mean, that's not on purpose. He's like, but don't run around the person when you're doing a certain sequence. He's like, because at the end it looks sloppy in the ring.
Yeah, it
looks like you're avoiding the guy when you're not supposed to. It's lucha, it's wrestling. You're supposed to be fighting each other. It's supposed to be a confrontation.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you would like to add about? Working out here at the dojo or your experiences?
I mean, there's a lot. Like you said, a lot of donated stuff was here. We have a lot of the weights. The ring is up, but a lot of us shouldn't be in the ring because, like saying, it's being invited. It's really a good workout. I mean, like Jayson was saying, if it's something that you want to be more flexible, you want to come in, you want to work out and learn a little bit of lucha, maybe you come in and like it and become a professional wrestler, be the next Rey Mysterio or Roman Reigns or Okada or whoever's your idol. But yeah, it's something that I didn't really think was ever going to happen to me. And being married, having a daughter, it's something that my wife and I have spoken. It's like, I want to show my daughter that no matter how old you are, and I've told Jayson, maybe I have a match, I lose it, win it, and it's like, hey, you know what? I'm retired. It's something that is my goal, but I know there's people who have done that, who've had their one match and just, well, I had my match, and it's like, well, that's how much of it was part of you.
Yeah.
And like with this, I don't see that happening to me, but it's just kind of an example of like, I want to show my daughter your dreams are possible.
I think for me it was something similar was doing stand-up comedy.
Oh, yeah.
Did it a couple times, and then one of the last times I bombed, and I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm retired. But now I'm thinking of making a comeback. But yeah, I mean, I kind of get the that what you're trying to say, where it's like kind of like a bucket list thing that and you kind of want to show your daughter and your wife and everybody that doesn't matter how old you are, but as long as you.
I would say DDP started at 40. One of the Diamond Dallas page started between 35 and 40 to be actually one of the top WCW champion and WWE star, Hall of Famer now. And so there's wrestlers who are up to their 60s that are wrestling. Now I'm following a lot of New Japan wrestling, and there's this guy, Ishii. He's 48, and he was wrestling a 32-year-old, and they're both in their prime.
Wow.
So it's like, wow, like
so there's no age.
Yeah, no age limit.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing your story and yeah, thank you for being part of WWE and bringing like the show to the Imperial Valley, because
I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here for being a family, man, for the kids to have something, get away from those video games, have either here at the school something that's physically makes them healthy, and then our shows something that they can do with their family and entertain them.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
No problem. Mr. J.
All right. So to finish up, is there anything else that you would, we kind of minutes that you want to touch up on, and where can find events, upcoming events?
We have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our Twitter is at VWE Zone. Our Instagram, I'm not sure. Venue Wrestling Entertainment. Google us. We pop up. Facebook, I think, is at VWE Zone as well. We also have a website that's being built right now. Andy, you know the URL? VWELuchaLibre.com. Should be up in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, Instagram, you guys are also VWE Zone on Instagram.
There's two, so which one is that?
I don't know, is this you?
Let me see. I think that might be the other one we have. We got locked out of one time, so we it's this one right here. Is it that one? No, it's this one. It's this one, the 1200.
What's the...
Yeah, Venue Wrestling ENT. That's our Instagram, Venue Wrestling ENT. We are more active on Facebook. Instagram's picking up. We do Twitter. We have a show July 12th here in Imperial Valley. We're bringing former cruiserweight champion TJ Perkins. He just got out of WWE. This guy, he ran the Cruiserweight Classic. He's actually coming to VWE to take on our Lightning Belt champion, Little Cholo, for our belt. That's July 12th. You can get the info on our Instagram, on our Facebook, Twitter. If you want to join the dojo, write us a message as well, and we'll gladly get back to you, show you guys. We'll even give you a day to come in and see if it's for you. But I know that I want to thank, like I said, Andy. I want to thank you guys for coming. Little Cholo for his interview today. Big G, Mariana. Who else? Huh? Our bell guy, Jerry. Fernando Lara from Sparta. George Munoz from Sparta. Our sponsors, Casa of Imperial Valley. Fiesta Tortillas help us out a lot. Shoot, man, we just do there's so much that we got going on, you know. Christmas time, we do a toy drive. Next school year, we're going to do a scholarship. We'll give out a scholarship. That's a lot, you know. We're really community-based. And what happened? Yeah, we got a show for Casa, the Court Advocates of Imperial Valley, August 10th. We're working on that one. We run every month. Just, you know, we need the community support. Yeah. That's what, you know, we do it for you guys. You like our posts, share our posts, invite to the event pages. We have merch for sale. We like to see people wearing our shirts, our hats. Support local things, local boxing gyms. There's a few out there that are really good helping the community. Like I said, Sparta. There's a couple in Calexico, La Gente and Brawley. There's the jiu-jitsu. Just get out there and do something. Yeah. Get your kid involved in something. You know, whether it be soccer, football. Get them away from YouTube. Get them away from PlayStations. Get them over here. We'll show them what we used to do. You know? Yeah, yeah. You know, I saw a meme the other day where the mom's dragging the kid out of the house by the ear. I remember my mom yelling at me saying, when it's dark, you come home. Yeah. If you're not home by the time it's dark, you know what's going to happen. Yeah. You know, so it's a little bit, our generation is different than their generation. But we all get together for wrestling, whether it be new school, old school, Bruder Brosy, George Animal Steel, or Roman Reigns, or, you know, one guy that I like and none of these guys like is The Miz. Yeah.
He's the guy from Road Rules.
He started off in Real World, but he's got the gift of gab, man. I love that guy. But just get out there and do something. That's what we ask you guys to do, you know. Come watch a Lucha show July 12th. Get the info. Check out every episode of the podcast because you never know when we're going to be back. And you never know when I'm going to give them some tickets to give out. So thank you guys. Thank you for having us.
No, thank you.
And tell your son he missed out on a great time.
I'll let him know for sure.
And he needs to come to our school so he could be a wrestler.
I'll let him know.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Jason. Thank you. All right, guys. See you guys in the next one. Peace.